Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video tutorial. This would be bot number 80 from Dubious positions and how to attack them, and this would be the last bot of the entire book, which has been finally presented on as videos on the web. So again, I would like to express my thanks to Master Qiang and Grandmaster Zhang for allowing me to use their book to produce this series of videos. I hope you've enjoyed them as I have enjoyed them very much myself. So without further ado, let us begin. And in today's board, red will play the cross palace cannon opening, and black will counter with the proper opening. This move has become one of the mainstream counters in the past. C8 equals to 5 or R9 plus 1 were the major counters against red's cross palace cannon. And with h8 plus 7, red aims to develop his left flank ASAP. And in this move, red deferred developing his chariot, which is often seen with r1 equals to 2, and chose to play p7 plus 1 instead, developing this flank. This is a strategically oriented move, since black was intent on forming a blockade. Red would instead develop his left flank. This would tenets of Xiangqi opening principles. Now, if red played r1 equals to 2, I could immediately form a blockade, and both colors will be fighting for initiative in this variation. And since red played p7 plus 1, black could do likewise. And this would be the dubious move of this board, as black tries to occupy the riverbank, trying to command a focal point and establish his presence on the riverbank. Later, take his time to push forward his other pieces. Now, this would seem to be an okay idea, but it is simply impractical because black's other pieces have not been developed and his formation is still weak. And again, as shown in one of the earlier boards, a horse that is here without any protection that has moved to the riverbank too early in the game without any protection would often be a target of attack for the enemy. So instead, the sound move to make would be to play h2 plus 1, whereby black could also develop this flank. Should consolidate his defenses. Black could develop his chariot. Black's formation is very agile, very flexible. He can counter any reds nicely. This would be the dubious move, h7 plus 6. And since h7 plus 6 was played, red must play r1 equals to 2. This would pin, because if the black cannon were allowed to traverse, play c8 equals to 7 or c8 equals to 5, based on the needs of the situation, black would have seized the initiative, and red would have a hard time trying to develop his material. Since traversing the cannon was not possible, black decides to go with his original plans of c8 plus 4. Now, this would be the position of discussion for this board. Two main variations, c8 plus 3 and r9 plus 1. Now, before we continue, with c8 plus 4, black is intent on capturing the cannon, hoping to gain a headhunter cannon for attack. But again, because the horse had moved, this chariot would now not be protected, and black would have to have his qualms when he wants to capture the central pawn. Let's go to variation A, c8 plus 3. This would be red's idea of a counter. With this move, red is prepared to play p7 plus 1 on the next move to use the pawn as a cannon mount for the cannon to capture the horse. But unfortunately, this would actually be made use of by black. So black would have no fear. He will continue with c2 equals to 5, p7 plus 1 as planned, capture, trade. ch3 plus 5, and black would not be in a hurry to play p3 to capture the horse, because the horse cannot move. The horse, if it moved, the cannon will be delivering a check. So instead, black would play p3 plus 1, very practical. And if he was too eager, black would play c6 plus 1, threatening to capture the cannon, and black would be placed in all sorts of trouble. If it moved away, black would gain material. Red would gain material, sorry. This one, and suddenly, once the pawn had advanced so far into enemy territory, red would have the significant advantage. The p3 plus 1 is correct. 6 equals to 5. The horses are linked in the nick of time. h2 plus 5 plus 4 to sacrifice the cannon. If black mistakenly retreated the cannon, hoping to double out his attack on the central file, black would come to immediately deliver a check, and he will not have no qualms. Now we see it equals to 5. If red moved any, let's say his advisor, black will gain a chariot and probably win the game. So why red chose to play delivering a check, thinking that he would capture the cannon, but unfortunately black would now play h3 plus 5, and this would be a winning position. Red would not dare to capture the chariot, otherwise this would be immediate checkmate with the double cannon's check. Why? Black would win very rapidly. Now, if black not, the only move he can make would be to capture the cannon. Black would win rapidly. So that's why c8 minus 4 is not a good idea. Black just the cannon. Red threatens to capture the horse and also play h6 plus 7 for the elbow horse check to capture the chariot. So black can simply defend with h2 minus 1. Red would not have gained anything for his efforts, and at this point in time, 2 cannons, 1 horse, 2 chariots versus red's 2 chariots, 1 cannon, 2 horses. So black would have actually 2 more pawns, and situation will look very optimistic for black. So this brings us to the end of variation A. Now let us go to variation B. r9 plus 1, red would develop his chariot as r9 plus 1 instead of c8 plus 3 as mentioned. Now this is a very good move and the suggested recommended counter in the book. The reason for this is that black's cannon and chariot are not protected. So with this, red can have many tactical options. He could move here to attack the horse, or even here to threaten to gain material or trade chariots. So this will be the second position of discussion for this board, because now there will be 2 counters. The first will be variation BA, C2 equals to 5, and variation BB, E3 plus 5, whereby black, in both sub-variations, black could consolidate the central file. So let us go to variation BA, R2, C2 equals to 5, as black is intent on continue his attack on the central file. R9 equals to 2, red threatens to gain material. This is a no-nonsense move. So 6 plus 5. If he chose to capture the chariot for a trade, cannon would have to move. Red would be able to move the cannon back to the central file in the nick of time to defend both. Both horses will be defending the central file, and the chariot will not be prepared to capture the elephant, etc. So treat the chariot to capture the cannon, which has no place to go. If the cannon moved here, the horse will capture it. If it retreated here, the elephant will capture it. Black will usually have to sacrifice the cannon to capture the elephant, and red will. That's why c8 plus 3 is not a good move. h3 plus 5. By pushing the pawn forward, the cannons will not be protected, and now red would be threatening to gain material, forcing a trade of chariots. At this point in time, red would have pushed the pawn across the river. All his major pieces were developed. Black's right flank was still not developed, and although Black's heaven and earth cannons look very powerful, but without any further support from the chariot or the horse, red will have nothing to fear. Absolute control over the situation. And this will bring us to the last sub-variation in the book. Variation BB, E3 plus 5. Black adopts a more defensive stance. R9 goes to 4, a good move. The red chariot will threaten the black horse, forcing black to declare his intentions. Now, because E3 plus 5 had been played, it would not be a good idea to play R9 equals to 2 now, because black would greatly accept the trade of material, and he could retreat his cannon in the nick of time because the elephants are now linked. This move would trap the red chariot, and the red chariot would become from open to closed. Black can only retreat his horse in view of the threat from the red chariot. If he played h6 plus 7, black would play c6 plus 1 for a pin, p7 plus 1, and c8 plus 2 to capture the pawn and then capture the horse. Either way, red will gain material. That is why black can only retreat the horse. For black is forced to retreat his cannon, whereby now the horse also protected for double insurance. Now if he chose to play p3 plus 1, hoping to play r1 equals to 3, chariot has patrolled the riverbank and off with material. Again, the chariot will be protecting the pawn, not fearing the elephant from capturing it. 7. Red would have the advantage, as now he would be attacking full force. So with this move, the cannon will now threaten the horse, and black would have to move it away. If he moved away, red will play p7 plus 1. Plus 1 is not a good idea, and black would retreat for defense, fearing the advancement of this pawn. h7 plus 6. As can be seen, it is very clear that red would have the supreme advantage. All the black pieces are not very well positioned. Red will be attacking, thus indirectly pinning the black chariot. This will be version BB. Quick recap. Central cannon, horse. Since black wanted to develop his left flank, red would do likewise, forcing p7. And dubious move. This horse, as can be seen from the various variations given just now, this horse would not be able to do much. Blockade. Variation A, c8 plus 3. Variation B, r9 plus 1. Variation A, black tries to attack from the central file, pushing p1 plus 1, but this is no good because capture, play p3 plus 1. If c5 plus 4, gain material or at a huge advantage. 5 tries to be proactive and offers a trade of material. Horse, deliver a check and thus capture the chariot butt. The black horse, instead of being pinned, will retreat and protect this intersection. Gain anything for his efforts, and his initiative will be captured. Variation B, r9 plus 1. This second position of discussion, r9 plus 1. Variation BA, c2 equals to 5. Variation BB, e3 5. With c2 equals to 5, now threaten to gain material, and black would choose to create material in this manner. She plus 3, 9, the black cannon will be lost. She plus 5, capture, a good move, pushing the pawn to sever the link between the cannons. And black's hunter cannon would not have any support, even though his heaven and earth cannons look very menacing, but they cannot get any support for red to gain attack later on. Where should be B? E5. 9 equals to 4 to threaten the horse. 9 equals to 2. Red will not get anything. 7 if he advanced. I could lose material. 3 H2 plus 4. 3D the cannon is a good move. If not, if P3 plus 1. And so I hope you've enjoyed this board and the entire book that I've translated word for word. That can be found on the website. If you like the work I've been doing, please do subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you.